Okay, I just had a blitz game and had a really interesting situation come up that I wanted to share with you. I'm white. I played d4, d5, c4. This is the Queen's Gambit. It's standard to either take with d takes c4 or to defend with e6 or c6, translating to a Slav or semi-Slav. My opponent plays what I think is a bad move, is knight f6. And here, what I should have done is taken just c takes and either queen takes or knight takes or something. But I went ahead and just played knight c3. And then he defends. At this point, I played bishop to g5, pinning this knight to his queen, and hopefully winning a pawn here. That's the plan, anyways. He played knight b to d7, defending his knight, and I saw what I thought was a tactic that worked out for me to win this pawn. C takes, e takes, knight takes, and I was doing my analysis right after the game, and found out that white has a trap here, or I'm sorry, black has a trap here. Black can play knight takes d5, sacrificing his queen. After bishop takes, he has a very strong check here, and I have nothing to block it with other than my own queen. So I do takes, 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 and as you can see now, black is up a piece for a pawn, and should go on to have a very easy endgame and middle game. So I didn't see this, and I looked at it for a second and said, "Oh, he can't sacrifice his queen. Surely I'll win a pawn." And luckily, my opponent wasn't aware of this trap, and placed a bishop b7. And here I just start trading, thinking, "Hey, I'm up a pawn now. I should just trade down." And rightfully so. Now I'm doing very well. Now that my opponent missed that trap, but that's something to keep in mind when you're playing the Queen's Gambit. To see if you clear out your queen side and all you leave is your queen to your king's defense, and your king hasn't pushed, nothing's moved on the king side, that bishop b4 check might lose you a queen. So be aware of that. But here the game developed naturally. We both just develop. He plays a check, and I invite a queen trade, thinking I'm up a pawn. I might as well trade. Knight to d5 is fine, defending the queen, activating a piece. Trade. And I made a mistake here that actually could have worked out just fine. I played knight e5 thinking, not seeing at first this fork, which is just silly for a player at my level to miss something like that. And then I realized that I take his bishop anyways, and I can win that knight back. So I'll win a knight and a bishop for a rook. And so I went ahead and made the move. And my opponent played bishop to e6, defending that bishop, and then opening up the opportunity for the fork again. And I played rook to c1. Now this allows him to come in and take his pawn back. But you can see when he does that, I can just take his c7 pawn, and I'm still up a pawn. I've got a rook on the 7th rank, which is just a killer. Black has to castle here, and I'm going to start quickly attacking on the queen side here with this wide open queen side. And I have the initiative. I have still the material lead, and this is good for me. So it's okay that you hang this a6 pawn when you're attacking the c7 pawn. And he defends c6, and then I made an awful move. I lost track of the fact that now this pawn is actually hanging, and I played bishop e2, preparing to castle, and that just allowed him to come in with his knight and take knight takes a2. And now the material's back to even, and I'm back to being frustrated. If you watch my last video on overconfidence, both of those games happened in the last hour or two, and this is a blitz match, which I'm awful at blitz, and I'm learning to start seeing a little bit better in blitz. I think it's good for me to be able to calculate more quickly. But so now I'm frustrated again because I've made big blunders in 2 games in a row, and I'm getting frustrated. And again, I think I'm a better chess player than my opponent based on how he's been playing, and I should be winning these games. And but I'm making mistakes. So my rook's under attack. I move it here. Rook's under attack again. Move it here. Rook's under attack again. At this point, I started thinking, hey, why don't I just take a draw and reset? The game looks rather even at this point anyway, so I thought about just going back and forth and seeing if I couldn't snag a draw out of this. But I went ahead and just broke it and played rook a3. He plays knight down to c1, and at this point, bishop c4 would have been great, offering to trade the bishops. There's really not a way for him to avoid the trade without messing up and giving himself an isolated pawn. So he takes, I take, and he probably kicked me off with a pawn move. and I'd come back someplace to e5. Oops, to e5 probably. And this is white's fine here. White's probably better. His knight's looking silly down here. I'm gonna find a way to snag it hopefully soon. I mean, you can imagine if I come in with moves like my king here. But he would have good attacking chances here. But white's better, definitely better, but not by a ton. And this could be a good game. But I make mistakes, and he comes in. Where are we at here? I played h3, which is just bad. It lets him come in and trade pieces here and castles. Rook c1. And the game went on. I ended up blundering. You'll see what I did here. I just played rook to b3, thinking I'll pile up on this pawn. And it's blitz, and I wasn't thinking. Obviously, bishop takes here, and I just resigned. But anyways, the point of this video is I wanted to show you this trick here when knight takes, where he can just play this line and win a piece. But I thought it was an interesting game. I thought you'd like to see it and see me make some more mistakes and have a laugh at my expense. So I hope you enjoyed.